Hi, this is Jason Fielder with the Daily Forex Report for September 21st. Currently looking at the U.S.-Japanese yen pair. This particular pair moved much higher, did come back and close a little bit below previous support that we've seen, but nonetheless closed up. We are looking for this pair to continue moving sideways with a bias that is sideways, possibly going as high as 93.05. possibly as low as 90.65. Look for some resistance around 92.50 and look for some support around 91.50 in this particular pair. Now, switching to the Euro-USD pair. This particular pair has pulled back. Still looking for this pair to move sideways with a bias that is sideways. And we are looking for this pair, if it does move higher, to possibly go as high as 147.96. possibly as low as 145.38. Look for some resistance around 147.37 and look for some support around 146.11. Let's take a look at the pound US dollar pair. This pair moved much lower, did stop short of previous support and pulled back significant amounts prior to the close. We are looking for this pair to possibly go as high as 162.98 and hit resistance there, possibly moving down to a support level of 161.33 during this next session. We are expecting this pair to continue moving sideways with a bias to the downside. Look for the US Swiss, on the other hand, to continue moving sideways with a bias that is sideways. Look for this pair to move as high as 104.51, possibly as low as 10224. This pair did close up for the day, did have a larger range than the open to close range, but overall still moving sideways. Look for some resistance if it moves higher around 1.0367, possibly to the downside. Look for support around 10275. Now, as far as news announcements goes, we have the New Zealand dollar releasing their GDP for the second quarter at 6:45 p.m. Eastern Time tomorrow. The consensus is that things have improved from -1% up to -0.2%, which would be good news for the New Zealand dollar. Now, year to date, they're showing an increase from -2.7% to -2.6%. So just a small little move there, but overall still positive news. Now, I wanted to show y'all today in the pound, if you drop down to the 4-hour time frame, for those of you that don't use the 4-hour time frame, there's a lot of power in the 4-hour time frame because you get some pretty large moves, you get some good setups. They occur more than the day time frame, but yet you still have large enough moves and ranges to kind of still be forgiving as far as the spreads go, as far as your percentages from spread to profit. Now, if you notice, we have a strong head and shoulders formation that was formed here. Okay, and what I wanted to show y'all was if you notice the break here, all line up. We have from this point to this point, and that matches up perfectly when this came down, this neckline came down and then retraced. Now, when it retraced and started to head down, this would be a great price to look to go short at the 1.6539 level. And where you'd want to get out of this one, or where I would look to get out, would be this session's low. And let's just take a look at that. And I know this is hindsight, and hindsight's always 20/20, but let's take a look at this. You have previous support or a previous resistance, or real close to it, right here and right here. Previous support here. This is previous resistance. So you have some areas here, a range basically of looking for a potential reversal. You have this low that we've already seen to have support for. So that'd be a good place to look for support, maybe at this point as well, because you get some continuity with these particular 4-hour bars. So you could look at either one of those, possibly going to break even at one and taking profit at the other. Nonetheless, if you take a look at the amount of profit that you would have made had you taken this one, if you would have exited around the first area of support that we saw, it's around 51 pips or so. If you go a little bit further all the way down, you're looking about 88 pips. So, and that's all within a 4-hour move where that triggered, which is pretty significant. And of course, this low at the 20 pip mark, we've been talking a lot about going to break even, and that would be a great place to have gone to break even for this particular trade, because you have an area of support there as well. Probably the first area of support that has been really hit on this downward move. So this would be a great place to go to break even, and then you could look to move your stop loss until you hit your take profit. So that's just one way, and of course right here would be a great place for a stop loss in case it did pull back against you. But as you can see, that wasn't the case here. Now another little trade that could have been done had you taken it, take this low when it pulled back, a good place to go short again would have been at the break of this trend line. Did pull back a little bit, about 38 pips or so, but look at the run after it. Moved down over 200 pips. So these head and shoulders formations have teeth. They definitely can make you a lot of money regardless of the time frame. This one just happens to be on the 4-hour. Just wanted to let you know that the 4-hour can be a very profitable way to trade. You don't necessarily have to watch this 24 hours a day either. With it being 4-hour increments, it's fairly easy to identify setups with looking at the market just a couple of times a day, which is another advantage. Well, that about does it for today. Until next time, this is Jason Fielder. Good trading.